guys always say like, well, I asked for what I wanted and then she said no. And the truth is, you don't ever want to ask a woman for what you want. Ever. You want to ask for what you can feel wants to happen. And so
for what we want.
For what you want, right.
For what we want.
Right, for what we want. And we agree. And so when it comes to what you were just talking about with, it was up to him to take the risk. Is there anything else that you would tell men about that moment where you think you can hear, right? Where you're a guy, you're listening to this, and you're like, I'm right there where I'm pretty sure that I can hear. How does he let go of the edge of the pool, of the shallow end, so to speak?
So I have to put a disclaimer on what I'm going to say, and that's that this is for this woman. This is not for any other woman. This is for this woman. This is what he could have done with me, and what the men in my life could do with me. And that is, I'm undifferentiated pure potential at the foundation. I start as that. I'm amenable. I'm fundamentally amenable. In fact, you really have to screw up for me to not be so. Okay. Is that we're already in a traffic jam in the culture, because the idea is that women are a no, that you have to finagle, maneuver, nag, manipulate, coerce, that you have to do all of these things. And it's almost like we talk about this game, Miss Millie Antilli. I want to figure out how to have everyone play it so you know what I'm talking about. But it's like an optical illusion. It's something that you don't see it until you see it. But once you see it, everything changes. And the thing to understand is I'm built for hospitality. I'm not built for submission, although I like to explore. But I'm not built to be a warrior. I'm built to delight, and so my natural desire is to say yes. What happens is there are a lot of hurts and pains and frustrations and difficulties along the way that would suggest saying yes isn't wise. So then the deeper part of that is that not understanding that about this woman is an imposition of your ego. It's an imposition of your ideas. If I'm in connection with you, then what I want is what's best for us. And if you are considering what's best for us and I'm considering what's best for us, I don't understand where the no is, other than you may be presenting it in a way that doesn't click with the spot, that doesn't click with my understanding. And here's where I think men lose the game, lose the thread. And that is effort. That's where it's because you start with this presumption that women are difficult, we're a no, we're there's those things that explain. Have you ever seen these? They're actually kind of the comic books, like everything you need to know about women, and it's like this tall, and then there's everything you need to know about men, it's a sliver. I don't think that that's true. I think it's there's not much you really need to know about women, other than we are deeply amenable and very sensitive human beings. And if you're clumsy or hurtful, we become less so. So then, like what I would have said to him is, you forgot I love us. And that forgetting had it be that you were a coward or, not courageous, however you want to phrase that. And what would courage look like in that moment? Well, that courage looks like retooling again and again the invitation. Because the other piece is I love to play. See, I don't care about the goal as much. I don't care if we end up going to what's that place? What's that pizza place in San Francisco that I love? Little Star. Okay. So I may say like, I want to go to Little Star. I want pizza, and I might have Little Star in my mind. Like, that's not the important thing. The important thing is the interaction. It's the process that we have. The women. It's the process that we have in getting that goal together, and that's simultaneity. So it doesn't mean I don't want the goal, but I equally want the process and the play. I told the story last night. I have a friend for 30 years. We have been playing, we'll call it a seduction game, where the first night I met him, I knew that that man was going to be in my life at a deep level. But, he hasn't quite been the man who's ready for that. I haven't quite been the woman who was ready for that. So we just play little strokes every now and then, every now and then he proposes. But there's nowhere else to get to. There's no cinch to get to, because we're actually in the deep-seated 30 years of this seduction that we've had that's been wonderful. Be willing to jump into the play with me and the delight of figuring out how to have what we both desire, with the understanding, if I'm in a love relationship with you, and I'm in a love relationship with everybody that I'm in relationship with in my life, the nature of love is it just wants to be with that person. And all of the other stuff, that's relevant but irrelevant, right? So I just want to be with you. I just want to be with you. I don't care how it looks necessarily. But but when I say I want to be with you, I mean I want to be with like you here. And so I don't want to be with you thinking about work. I don't want to be with you even figuring out how to make me happy. I want to be with you, strategizing about how we're going to have this in the future. I want to be with you here now. And then if those desires rise up in the present, oh, that's so much fun and hot. But if it takes you away from me in any way, I don't want it. And that's the piece that I think nobody talks about. That the real-time abandonment of a man, and women too, by the way, being hijacked by the ideas of how to have the other person when they're right there.